So we have talked about how to set up your event. We've talked about how to promote your event. There's two more pieces to that. The first one, or the third one, depending on how you're counting. Who cares about numbers? Not nerds do. The third section is how do you stay connected with the people who have successfully registered because you followed all of Roberta's awesome instructions, right? What do you do with them? Like, you have these people. How do you make sure they actually show up? I mean, you're sending all the stuff out, they're communicating with them. How do you ensure that they are successfully actually attending and then being able to follow up with them afterwards to really stay connected and keep that communication line open? So
and how do you send them the information to attend?
Exactly. That's the biggest part of that. And then the fourth thing is what happens when things go wrong? How do you shoot the troubles when they show up? How do you troubleshoot? So I'll be doing a presentation on that as well, because unfortunately, shotguns don't work on computers. I mean, I know I would love to have tried that, but it doesn't work.
Well, it works. It's just not the result you want.
The bug stops happening. This is true. So does everything else. All right, so we're going to look at coordinating with registrants, and I'm going to be using the same event that we just created to demonstrate some of the pieces. And I'm going to cover over a little bit, some of the overlap a bit, what Roberta was talking about, and cover in a bit more detail some pieces of it, and from the perspective of communicating with the attendees. I'm going to share my screen. This looks familiar. And we're just looking at this. So if you're jumping on Eventbrite, this is your home page. You're going to jump on here. You're going to go up to your main menu up here, and you're going to go down to Manage My Events. And of course, as we've already noted, there are a lot of events that are being managed. If you have multiple organizers, though, you can filter it down by scrolling down to the one that you are actually worried about. And we have two now. We have Starry Little Nerds. No one's registered for that yet. How many of you got a notification for that and did not use? I am ashamed of you. You should have already registered. I'm kidding. I am kidding. So go in here. There's a couple other features here when you have this event. Kyle mentioned copying an event. This is where you do that here. And I'm just going to slight side tangent rabbit trail. When you copy an event, almost all the information gets copied over. Almost all of it. The specific pieces that don't get copied over are the pieces I'm going to be covering in this particular presentation, though. The emails. Those do not get copied over. Your online event page, your registration stuff, your tickets even get copied over typically. All these different kinds of things. Saves a lot of time. You can edit it as you want to. But the emails don't get copied over, and that's what I'm going to focus on. So that's where that is, and it saves you a lot of time. All right, let's jump right in here. Open it up to look at. There it goes. We have our event dashboard. Oh, there we go. Now we have a ticket sale. Kyle, thank you, Kyle. Johnny on the spot. And okay, so we're going to look at a few of the details here. There's kind of a timeline of ways in which you can engage with people during the process of interacting with your site. The first place that you're going to want to engage them as far as making sure that they actually come to your meeting is, as I mentioned, the online event page. So since we disabled that before, we're going to enable that and include it here. So we're going to go over here, we're going to hit page settings, we're going to turn it on here, hit apply, and we're going to put some text in here, and we're going to say, now here's something that I have no idea this is just unique to my computer. If I click on here, it takes a few clicks to actually get in there. And then it'll like not work and nothing will type. I have to like double click to actually get in there. It can be a little annoying. Sometimes right click gets it in there, but it's a weird text field. And you say join here, and then you can also put in the information for joining. I'm actually going to jump over into my other window because we have the same information for each meeting. Come on, open up. I have too many windows open. There you are. I'm going to grab.
Copy and paste is your friend.
Yeah. Okay, here we are. So Nerd Masters Public Rights, and we have our Zoom info right here because the same one every single time. Move that over there. Pop down. Drop that there. I'm going to copy this one, and just to be super redundant, because redundancy is the name of the game when communicating, and save all of that. So now when somebody joins somebody gets the online event, they will have both those ways to access that, and they can see that. All right. So this is the first place that people are going to, that the primary place a lot of things are going to get sent to for this particular online event page. But even before they see this, there's actually another place that they will actually be able to access this information. If you go into the order options, right, you have an order form that you can customize. You can get more information about your attendees, which Roberta, I think, mentioned as part of her thing. You can create a new form, and you can ask all kinds of questions, like from the membership application form and follow-up form, and ask questions like you want their phone number so you can follow up with them. You want to ask about the company or the organization, things like that. You can also add a question like, are you already a Toastmaster? That's a useful question. Have a short form, and so you can save that. And if you have the right one is required, and you can turn them on and off here in this column, and then make them required in this column. So that's something you can add in there. But that's before they actually register. Right after they register, you get this one. I'm going to save that real quick just so it doesn't run away. Order confirmation. This is what they see right after they have registered for the event. And there's two sections here. The first one is the actual page that flashes up on your screen saying, "Ha-ha, you did a great job pushing the right button." And you can put the information in there saying, hey, check out our website. Right? And save the Zoom join info. You can paste that right in there. And we can put our site right there. Okay. And it doesn't allow HTML tags, so you just put it in there and they'll copy and paste and access it as they would like to. But this is what they immediately see. And then they get an email in their inbox. Now, as Roberta mentioned, make sure this email goes to someone who actually monitors their email. So I monitor my email. Hold on. And since I'm the president, this is actually, I'm actually a valid contact point. You can also put in like the free toast emails that will transition from one officer to the next and so on. And then this is the email that gets sent to them. Here is your join info, and put the Zoom link in there again. So we've already got the Zoom info like 4 times already now. Somebody's keeping count. The nice thing about this is that if you think through the mind of somebody who's lost, and they're like, oh, I can't remember what the Zoom link is. Where is it? I didn't save that. Where are they going to look first? Confirmation email. That's the first thing they think of, right? So putting it here is super handy.
I need to jump in here.
Go ahead.
Because I was supposed to show up for a contest. And the night before the contest, I was calling the contest chair going, where's the Zoom information? And they said, it went out in the confirmation. Well, that confirmation was 3 weeks ago, and I never, ever read Eventbrite confirmations. I delete them as soon as they show up in my email box because nobody would ever put useful information that I have to keep in an email that I'm going to get and have to keep for 3 weeks. That would be foolish. So I delete them unread. And he was like, you deleted it unread? What? Yeah, it's like,
I never delete an email unread. Oh,
yeah. So that's just the way I think.
So people think differently. This is why redundancy is important.
Yeah, and it's also why you need to go what James is going to do soon, which is also send out emails just before the meeting.
More and more
with the
emails.
Zoom link.
Yes, exactly. I will note, Kyle, that when you're doing those kinds of things, one of the key useful life hacks is the snooze button in Gmail. Are you familiar with the snooze button? Who's familiar with the snooze button in Gmail? Wow. Okay. So Gmail life hack. If you learn things so if you open it up, I'm actually.
No.
Okay,
Another meeting.
So the cool thing about there's a button in Gmail that you snooze it and it will hide the email and then send it back to you at a point you want it to. It boomerangs it to you. So you can say confirmation email, send it back to me at the time of the actual event. And it's actually super handy, saves a ton of time in inbox. Okay, life hack. All right, so this is this particular customized email. The next way is to stay in contact with them is to go down here. So this is the order options for the actual ordering. Let's go down to manage attendees, emails to attendees. This is the one that Kyle was talking about. These ones are already generated automatically when you have an online event page, right? So you have one that goes out 2 days before the event, 2 hours before the event, and 10 minutes before the event. And all these have a link going to the online event page, which has the Zoom link on it as well. It's also kind of handy to send out one like a week before, at several hours before that afternoon if you're in an evening meeting, or the night before if you're a morning, evening. So there's multiple different time spots you can do that. So let's create a new attendee email, and let's do this one for the afternoon before it. So again, change the reply to email so Roberta doesn't strangle you in your sleep.
Which I just got an email letting me know that someone registered for the event.
Yes, those notifications you can't change. And so what I like to do here is say message to attending Starry Little Nerds. I change that to your Zoom info for Nerd Masters Starry Little Nerds, right? And then here's your Zoom info. Paste it in there, right? And then you can do a couple different ways. You can schedule directly at the particular time, 2 p.m. of the day. You can also do it this way, and just go 0 and 5 hours and 30 minutes. The reason why I do it this way is because I'm in a different time zone, and it gets very confused when the time zone there and my time zone, my browser are disconnected, and it gets off all kinds of wonky. So if I set it this way, it gets less confused for me. So that's why I do it that way. And I hit save. Ta-da. So
May I make a comment on
Go
that?
ahead. Good.
When I create those emails, I like to put a link in for the agenda.
Yes.
If I'm a presenter and I have a handout, I might want a link for my handout in there. And if you click on the edit button again and scroll down, James.
Yes.
Click on the edit button next to an email and scroll down.
There it is. Yep.
Yep. And what I want you to see is there's a test button.
Yes.
And I always test email. I stick my email, not D32. I stick my email in there. I click test, and then I go up to the email and I click on all of the links, because it's amazing. I've done this for years now, and I still make mistakes. I still put links into the wrong documents. I still screw it up. Always test.
Yep. You can also click up here and just click on the link up here, and it'll bring up a preview of it. You can test it there as well. That's another way of doing it. Good to test both directions. Lots of testing is useful, which segues into the next topic of things. Because this sends out, if you do this, you've got all these different things. You're sending out, a dozen ways from Sunday. That link is going out all over the place. Send it out like to your email people through Free Toast as well. And people will still miss it. But less people will miss it than otherwise. And the nice thing about this is that you're also able to follow up with them afterwards. You can schedule emails to go out on a particular date after the event. It'll give you a warning, but you can still do it. And so you can say, hey, thank you so much for registering. Here's more information and so on. You can do that too.
One of the other neat things is you can go into a past event.
Yes.
Go to the email and then send emails to the registrants for that past event.
Yep. I think it's
Powerful
also
marketing
part
stuff.
of the campaign feature, the email campaign feature that Roberta was talking about. I think you can also do it through there. There's a section for that. All right. So.
Game over.